Hello, my name is Mordred Viking and I would like to welcome you to episode 15 of this Let's Play Europa Universalis 4 with the Cossacks DLC. We are playing as the custom nation of Stormwind, and in the last episode we finally managed to end the coalition war against the countries here in France. We conquered Northumbria, finally, it's now a vassal of ours. However, we did lose Aberdeenshire, unfortunately. One of the things that I noticed, and we lost Kent as well, while I was doing my pre-episode preparation, is that the Netherlands is our rival now. They also take the majority of not the majority, but a significant chunk of the money in this node currently. And part of that reason is because we have got minus 3.1% trade power strength here. And the reason for that is we are embargoed by the Netherlands, which reminded me we need to do the same really. We do have an outstanding rival slot, which happens to be the Netherlands, which works rather nicely. So they are now rivaled, and we can start this embargo. There we are. So now their own trade power should be reduced accordingly, and our trade power as a result will actually go up because they take less of the money there. Another thing which I think I will do is we're not currently spending any Diplo or any points on development because we're so far behind in technology. So I am in fact going to take the demand diplomatic support thing here, which is for 15 loyalty. I think it's very worthwhile. It means we lose the development, but we still have the very nice trade efficiency because we're over 60%. The other benefit, actually while I'm thinking about it, of embargoing the Netherlands is it raises our power projection, and we had slipped down to 49, so we're back over the 50 threshold needed for the extra 3 monarch points a month, which is good because now we're actually gaining a decent number. We should also begin thinking about getting more advisors, but I still want to pay off these loans. Once we're loan free, then we can certainly think about doing that. We'll have another 2.45 ducats a month to play with to do that. We should also, while we are here, go up to admin tech 8. Let's actually unpause the game, there's not much going on right now. We can pass the Act of Uniformity, which does what? Gives us +1 missionary strength for free. Great, I'll take it. Thank you. Very kind of you. Okay, so we have a diplomat working in Northumbria, which makes sense. We should also probably think about how we can take Aberdeenshire back. So we have a truce with them for 12 years. We'll need to make a claim on them so we can actually attack them and conquer them if we can. So what would it take to diplo vassalize? They would never do that. They just don't like us anywhere near enough. So we will put a claim on Faroe Islands because their army tends to be on Shetland. So long as we hold the Faroe Islands, we get the ticking war score. So it just makes it a bit easier for us to do. How's the colony doing? A tiny little colony. It has got 664 settlers. In fact, see that there. So it's 2/3 of the way. Near enough. Another cardinal minister. I'll keep on taking the prestige. Thank you very much. We do have 100% Republican tradition. I'm going to bump this up to 5. Our explorer died. That's not good. Because our ships are miles away and they in fact will probably sink because they are so far away. That would be highly unfortunate. Yeah, they're as good as gone, unfortunately. They have to get to there. No, dead. So we'll need to build another 3 light ships and get another explorer. Although do we really need to at this point, thinking about it? We have explored the whole coastline here. There's a tiny bit more over there, but we are so far away that I don't think it really matters. I would quite like to explore more of the ocean up here, just to see if there's more land in this area for us to take over. But we will be quite busy colonising this area for the time being, so I'm going to wait on that. We could, however, get the other 3 light ships and start them protecting trade, and that, I think, is a good idea. In fact, we do have shipyards, so some of these spots are 2 ducats cheaper, so I'll start using them. We can get 1 more ship after this, basically. we can get an idea. Diplo points have gone up high enough. Now this is tariffs, so tariffs is the amount of money that colonies pay you. We don't currently have any, colonial nations, not colonies. Colonies just give you money regardless. But colonial nations, that's all done through tariffs, and the tariffs basically functions as their tax rate. So the higher the tariffs are, the more they'll dislike you, and the more desire for liberty they will have, more liberty desire. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to wait for Diplotech to tick up even more. Gives us a whole chunk more colonial range, and at that point that might be a good time to get another explorer actually. So this guy's 46, he's definitely the type we want to keep around. We have 100 Republican tradition. There's no real downside to doing this. So we'll gain 50 power in one of the 3 areas. It was admin. We have the claim on the Faroes. Who's fighting here? Picardy and Utrecht. Utrecht, Namur, Hamburg, Wales and Burgundy. Wales? Who else is Wales allied with? Just Utrecht. Okay. Well, Utrecht I think is just about to fall. That's not going to be a very long war at all. Okay, so some of these ships are getting ready. We can send them off. Protect trade. English Channel. Protect trade. English Channel. So because we have a fair number of light ships here in the channel, the Dutch should be suffering quite a significant embargo penalty, and there we are. They are minus 15%. However, they are transferring money in from Champagne, so they are getting 10% extra power, and in fact we should do that because we are now losing income from here, so we can basically shunt money from the North Sea south, and considering we will have the majority of the trade power here, that would be a very good idea because it means that the English Channel is just generally worth more money. So he is now transferring, he's going to send it south, so you can see it's going to go from 0.41 to something higher at the end of the month. 2.28, so a good increase. And that increases our own trade power here because we now get the extra 10%, because the merchant in the North Sea is basically supporting the merchants in the English Channel, so their job is easier. Plus there's more money just generally in the North Sea, and we are almost outcompeting the Dutch here. So that should be a fairly significant boost to our income. Yes, it is. Excellent. And then the more people that you have feeding into your home trade node, as the English Channel now is, you'll remember last episode we did move that finally, the bigger the bonus there and the more money you can basically get out of it. Once we do conquer Northumbria, we'll add another 3 provinces worth of trade value. Wales is one of the main reasons that we would have to conquer Wales is because they are in the same area. I don't think I will, just because they are the Pope, but if they weren't the Pope they would definitely be a big target. Okay, so we can go up in Diplotech. Let's do it. Yes. Now I'll need to wait a little while to get 50 Diplo points again. And we are ahead of time. So this is a big deal actually, being ahead of time. You can see this bonus has now become a penalty. We are 2 years ahead of where the world was at this time. So in 1542 we are basically with 1544 technology, so it is more expensive for us to get even further ahead of everyone else. When you are ahead in diplomatic technology you get a 20% trade efficiency bonus, and if you're ahead in admin tech you get a 20% production bonus, and military you get no bonus because just being ahead in military is powerful enough apparently. So our trade here should have jumped up even further. Yet we are now actually producing more money than the Netherlands are here, because we are ahead of time in diplomatic tech, plus 20%. So that is good. That is very, very good. And that in turn will increase our income by almost a ducat. So well worth being slightly ahead there in Diplo. And it also means that we can actually start developing with Diplo points if we do continue being ahead, though 2 years we probably won't be. Bartering. Oh, it's more autonomy, isn't it? I don't want to do that. Fine. Oh, come on. The guy we just re-elected like 6 months ago. died. Okay, so... Oh, that's true, we need Diplo for these ideas. But we are so far behind in military and admin that we definitely need a bureaucrat or a military. In fact, I'm going to take the military idea right now. And we have actually caught up, so military is less of a problem, but we are behind on admin. So we're going to take a bureaucrat right now. Combat width has increased, that means the length or the width that your armies have in battle has increased. So you need more artillery in the back line, is basically what they're saying. And there's more space to flank enemies. And then cavalry fire means they're more effective at shooting, but cavalry are never that great at shooting, so it's not that big a bonus. Then infantry shocks, they're better at stabbing people. We can now get weapons manufactory, which is a factory. And they can quite significantly increase income in the right provinces. So for example, Derbyshire I know is an iron income area, so if we were to build a weapons manufactory it would increase local goods produced by 1, and they are currently producing 0.20, so it would be a, yeah, it would basically, production would go up by 5 times. Another ship's done. North Sea. How's this? Okay, so one of the little rules of the thumb that I usually play with is I discard the number of transports I have for this force limit. So really, in my mind, we're at 20 of 29, so we could theoretically get another 9 caravels, which I think is a decent idea. I know we're still trying to pay off the loan, but we're basically spending money now in order to make more money in the long term. Actually begin claiming, well, we could begin claiming the Shetland Isles, but if we're just going to vassalize these guys, then we may not need to. However, oh no, their liberty desire is coming down rather nicely. I'll leave it for now. Who is growing strong? Balticum's good, Marienburg of course. We need someone to help down here. Gascogne, you are rivaled with Picardy, right? Yeah. Aragon, old pal, how are you doing? Would you like an alliance? No, not even close. And you're a rival. Sweden. Sweden would. At this point, Sweden's looking quite a lot stronger. They are currently conquering Kola, so they will be growing even more. So I am actually going to offer an alliance, actually. Do we have the diplomatic slots? Yes, we do. So yes, Sweden, I'll give you an alliance. This will mean that we shouldn't vassalize Aberdeenshire, we should just conquer it, because then we'll be over the number of vassals that we can have at any time. Another loan, so be it. Queue up another ship. So the reason I'm building in these two is because they do have shipyards, so ships built there are cheaper, as I will show you now. Here we are, shipyard. Minus 10% to ship cost and half shipbuilding time, which is rather nice. That's also where I should keep my ships for repairs. The other one was Essex. Another loan. Okay, so we have got our very first colony now. So this now functions as a proper province. Once you get more than 5 of these provinces in the colonial region, so any of this area that is blue, not the ocean obviously, that once you get more than 5 provinces there, 5 or more provinces, that will become a colonial nation, and that basically becomes a subject or a vassal almost, which gives you money through tariffs. You need to juggle the liberty desire, but they'll also join you in any wars, and they'll pursue their own wars against other colonial nations to try and grow, and natives too. And it's actually, I really like it because it helps. It's basically one less thing that you need to kind of worry about, because everything else in the world you can conquer and it will be part of your land, and you have to worry about it, the revolts, the rebellions, who your neighbours are, what the regional politics are. And just kind of giving the colonial nation over here, they just do their own thing. And so long as they don't get invaded overly, then they're usually okay just by themselves. Anyway, we were going to start colonising this little island. One, because I like islands. Two, because I want to stop other people taking this and then using it as a staging ground to get further west. The downside to doing that is there is actually a bonus to population growth if you colonise somewhere adjacent to a land you already have. However, these are not Arctic, so they will grow more quickly anyway. Is that true? That one's Arctic, that one's Arctic, that one's not. So this one will grow more quickly, and then we will have the adjacency to basically negate the Arctic penalty on those two. So off we go. Okay, more ships. English Channel. And English Channel. So our trade income should be absolutely climbing. Yeah, see, we're now ahead of the Netherlands. We are number one in this area. We're also number one in the North Sea by quite a long way, so we are shifting a lot of the cash down south. And the English Channel is more valuable now than, say, Lubeck, Genoa. In fact, it is the most wealthy trade node in Europe, which is good because it's an end node and we are basically milking it for as much money as we can get. Scotland's looking strong. Sweden have successfully conquered Kola, so Kola's gone from like the major power in this area to Finland becoming the major power in this area to Sweden bouncing completely back and striking out again. So yeah, lots of rise and fall over in this area, as you can see. One of the good things about the game, though, it is happening more than it used to. Okay, so our plus 20% colonial range guy just died. However, we did just get the plus 100 colonial range because of the Diplotech, so we don't really need him anymore. We also lose prestige, but we do gain monarch points. It also means that we gain more money, so fine. And using the money that we save from his wages, we can pay off loans. Like that one. Down to 10. However, that 10 is still in 1,300 ducats outstanding. We're still very much in debt. Oh, the Netherlands has overtaken us again. I think there's a bit of a naval race going on here. Speaking of naval races, how does our navy compare? Because we do now have old ships. Our ships are no longer the most modern that they could be. We still have 7, the Netherlands has 3, we're fine, even though they are outdated. So we currently have Cossacks, I think, and the current ship type are caravels. No. Oh, they're still Cossacks, never mind. When do they upgrade? Oh, we have early Cossacks, and they are currently Cossacks, okay. And generally when a ship goes obsolete, they'll tend to cost a bit more in terms of maintenance, though the difference at one level is not great, but as you get like more of a difference, then it becomes really quite problematic. And obviously they just don't fight as well. They're old. One of the things you can do is try and sell the ships to other nations. I've never actually done that because I didn't really realise it was a thing, and I didn't think any AI players would buy them, but apparently they do. However, they don't generally want to buy outdated ships, and because everyone is now at technology 11, or even 12 in Sweden's case, oh that's military, Diplo, 10, 11, 9, so we really want someone who's kind of Diplo 8, but that's very unlikely to happen. Okay. So we'll keep them for the time being and then we'll upgrade. Part of the reason you want to sell them is you'll be without your ships for a year or two, but you basically get money back so you can reinvest it in upgrading rather than just spending the full amount on upgrading your ships totally. We have done our thing with Northumbria. Picardy have civil war. Shoot. Why do we lose a prestige? Do we really? No, they do. Well, Picardy is still in the middle of a war against Burgundy, which they are winning quite handily, but they will have a much increased rebellion risk now. So we'll need to kind of keep an eye on them, and if things do begin to overwhelm them, then we should probably ship our own army across and try and help them out a bit. They are our main ally after all, and we do have a lot of men, a lot of manpower. However, I'll then need to raise army maintenance, which I'm a bit reluctant to do. Drop you to the bottom. Because it costs us money, and money is what we are short of right now. The Netherlands is now Picardy as a rival. Great. The Netherlands is growing really quite quickly, and quite worryingly. We'll need to do something to cut them back at some point, I think. Robber barons. The Burghers are concerned with the great influence of the nobility. So increase base tax and the nobility gain loyalty permanently, but the Burghers lose loyalty permanently. Or base production in Orkney, and it's vice versa. See, I would like the Burghers to have the permanent loyalty. So nobility lose 20, so that brings them down to 45, that's fine. And the Burghers gain 20, so they'll go up to 69. 59. They gained influence, which is not good, because now they have the chance to revolt if that ticks. And if it does, then we get less morale, less manpower, less force limit, and less prestige. Huh. Okay. Is there anything I can do to spend influence? No. I could get them to lose some more loyalty though. And pay me money, which is actually quite tempting. Lose 5 loyalty for 10 years. Do it. You guys. No, I don't need that. No, don't need that either. And that will allow me to repay some loans. 2 loans, in fact. Excellent. And that one? Yeah. And we can get a technology, which is probably admin. It is. We are 20% cheaper. Great. Do it. So we're getting more production efficiency, which means slightly more money. When does the next Burgher loyalty influence thing run out? We granted the monopolies. That runs out in 15 years. They both run out in 15 years, so we're gonna have problems with Burgher influence, unfortunately. I wonder if taking land away from them reduces it. It'll reduce their loyalty, certainly. Control provinces currently gives them 40%. So if we look in here, the Burghers control most of this area. So if we gave away one of the smaller ones to, say, the nobility, yeah. Like if we gave this Ulster to the nobility, then that would reduce their influence. Yes. Right, and that has indeed reduced their influence, so we have less of a problem. Good. Crisis averted. And crisis back again? Why? What? So is that saying that I have to give more land away? Increasing influence by 4.8, so we could take Leinster away and give it to the nobility, or to the church actually. We could give it, no, I want to give it to the nobility because we want to try and get their, or maybe the church. What other bonus does the church give us if their influence goes high enough? Doesn't say. Or is it stability cost and papal influence? See, the papal influence would be really nice. I kind of like the church to have more influence. Yeah, we'll do it. So Leinster we will take from the workers, which will reduce their loyalty by 4.8. Still safe. We'll give it to the clergy. Still at 80. Criminy. We could... What city do they have? That's 30 development. Northumbria, probably. But that would be a big kick in the teeth for them. They still have London. But London's not worth as much. It's not a 30. So, if we took this away, they would lose 5 influence. But also a whole chunk of loyalty. Yeah, they would lose 20 loyalty, which would take them down to 25, which is even more dangerous. We'll just have to deal with them having a high... Oh, nice. Do the manpower. Don't really need it right now, not at war. Oh, colonist, right. Oh, I'm doing that, aren't I? Yes, yes I am. We're getting 50 a year, great. 393, fantastic. Rebels are expanding, but the Picardy army is growing, so I'm not too concerned about that. Liberty Desire with Northumbria has fallen below 50, so they will now pay us taxes. They pay us 10% of their own income. And they will now fight in any wars that we get into, though their army is tiny. No idea. Or shall I wait for the Diplotech? I'll wait for the Diplotech and get the extra 0.4 morale, which is actually really quite big. Election. We can keep this guy. He is 51, but we have 95 Republican tradition. I'm going to keep him. So this will... Yeah, we'll definitely keep him. We got military that time. We are producing fur in our new colony. Good to know. And in the other one, I believe too. Yes. So the production from these provinces should be quite nice. Our income is definitely... It was going up. Why has it just gone down again? Have we just lost a chunk of trade income? Looks like it. Why? Because the Netherlands have just massively gone up. They must have just finished coring all the lands they just took. But most of the lands they took are not in this trade node. They're in the Champagne one and in the Rhineland. They must have just built some markets and things. Yeah, once our loans are paid off, we are going to have to invest very heavily in getting the markets in this area built up, particularly where we have the burghers, in order to continue competing. But oh, we're back up again. It must have been a momentary blip. Don't know. Weird. Bashkira, the tribe sees power. So basically here, the tribe estate, which is the only estate that steppe hordes have, became 2 influence. And they have seized government. Bashkira used to be one of the biggest powers. Still pretty big. It's a big name. Maybe that was just kind of hiding how thin it was. I was kind of expecting it to go all the way around there. Yugoslavia still doing well. We can see a lot more of the world. I had not noticed this. I'm sorry. I should have looked at this earlier. And more of this area too. Huh. So all of the natives are clustered on this island and that one, and these 2 entire islands are basically completely empty. So that's where the colonial wars are going to rage. Are they in different regions? That's all one region. Wow, that's going to be huge struggles over this area. One massive colonial region. And this one will be more about fighting the natives, I think. But only 3 colonial regions in the entire game that we can see. Interesting. So the New World basically won't be as powerful as it usually is. I mean, if you think about it, the America is like... Most of this screen right now would be filled with land. Maybe 2/3 of it. So, not much land. So the homelands will be the most power. So countries which are usually colonized to earn their wealth, like Portugal, won't be doing nearly so well. Changes the dynamics of the game. Areas in like Italy and Germany. Oh, Venetia is really growing. Oh dear. Okay, so Picardy are having real problems with rebels. Do I care if they split? Probably. Well, that's something I'll need to think about for next episode, as that is all we have time for the time being. So thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, it helps the channel grow, which would be nice. If you have any comments, tips or advice, please do leave a message and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.